Mac OS 9 is the final major release of Apple's classic Mac OS operating system. Introduced on October 23, 1999, Apple positioned it as the best Internet operating system ever, highlighting Sherlock 2's Internet search capabilities, integration with Apple's free online services known as iTools and improved open transport networking. While Mac OS 9 lacks protected memory and full preemptive multitasking, lasting improvements include the introduction of an automated software update engine and support for multiple users. Apple discontinued development of Mac OS 9 in 2001, transitioning all future development to OS X. Since that time, no updates have been released. The final updates to Mac OS 9 addressed compatibility issues with OS X while running in the classic environment and compatibility with Carbon applications. At the 2002 Worldwide Developers Conference, Steve Jobs began his keynote address by staging a mock funeral for OS 9. Features: Apple billed Mac OS 9 as including 50 new features, and heavily marketed its Sherlock 2 software, which introduced a channels feature for searching different online resources and introduced a QuickTime-like metallic appearance. Mac OS 9 also featured integrated support for a PLE-1 registered trademark S suite of Internet services known as iTools and included improved TCP/IP functionality with Open Transport 2.5. Other features new to Mac OS 9 include integrated support for multiple user accounts without using IDs. Support for voice login through VoicePrint passwords. Keychain, a feature allowing users to save passwords and text dual data encrypted in protected keychains. A software update control panel for automatic download and installation of Apple system software updates. A redesigned sound control panel and support for USB audio. Speakable Items 2.0, also known as Plain Talk, featuring improved speech synthesis and recognition along with Apple's script integration. Improved font management through FontSync. Remote Access Personal Server 3.5, including support for TCP/IP clients over point-to-point protocol. An updated version of Apple Script with support for TCP/IP. Personal file sharing over TCP/IP. USB printer sharing, a control panel allowing certain USB printers to be shared across a TCP/IP network. 128-bit file encryption in the Finder. Support for files larger than 2 GB. Unix volume support. CD burning in the Finder. Addition of a window menu to the Finder, Mac OS 9 and the classic environment. PowerPC versions of OS X prior to 10.5 include a compatibility layer called Classic, enabling users to run applications and hardware requiring Mac OS 9 from within OS X. This is achieved through running Mac OS 9 without access to Finder inside OS X. This requires Mac OS 9 to be installed on the computer, even if computers that can run the classic environment are not necessarily able to boot into Mac OS 9. Some Mac OS 9 applications do not run well in Classic, they demonstrate screen redraw problems and lagging performance. In addition, some drivers and other software which directly interacts with the hardware do not work and there is also no access to the Mac OS 9 Finder. In May 2002, at Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference in San Jose, California, Steve Jobs, accompanied by a coffin, held a mock funeral to announce that Apple had stopped development of Mac OS 9. Mac OS 9.2.2, introduced in December 2001, was the final version of Mac OS 9 and the end of the classic Mac OS. In June 2005, Jobs announced that the Macintosh platform would be transitioning to Intel x86 microprocessors. Developer documentation of the Rosetta PowerPC emulation layer revealed that applications written for Mac OS 8 or 9 would not run on x86-based Macs. The classic environment remains in the PowerPC version of OS X 10.4. However, x86 versions of OS X do not support the classic environment. As a workaround for Intel-based Macs, Mac OS 9 can be emulated up to version 9.0.4 by using Sheepshaver, a PowerPC emulator. It cannot emulate above 9.0.4 because Sheepshaver does not emulate a memory management unit. The Pair PC PowerPC emulator does not support Mac OS 9. Availability: retail copies of Mac OS 9 are still available from several Internet businesses at varying prices. Mac OS 9 is no longer available from Apple. Although now classified as abandonware, as development on it has ended, it is still in use by those who cannot upgrade to OS X due to hardware limitations, or prefer it to OS X. Mac OS 9 is also a popular choice for retro computing hobbyists. Mac gamers also sometimes revert to Classic in order to play some of the earlier, non-supported games, for example, Civilization II, and the Marathon Trilogy. Other uses: aside from original Apple-based hardware that is still maintained and operated, Mac OS 9 can be operated in other environments such as Windows and Unix. For example, the aforementioned Sheep Shaver software was not designed for use on x86 platforms and required an actual PowerPC processor present in the machine it was running on, similar to a hypervisor. Although it provides PowerPC processor support, it can only run up to Mac OS 9.0.4 because it does not emulate a memory management unit. Version history: updates to Mac OS 9 include 9.0.4, 9.1, 9.2.1, and 9.2.2. Mac OS 9.0.4 was a collection of bug fixes primarily relating to USB and FireWire support. Mac OS 9.1 included integrated CD burning support in the Macintosh Finder and added a new window menu in the Finder for switching between open windows. Mac OS 9.2 increased performance noticeably and improved classic environment support. While Mac OS 9.2 is only officially supported on G3 Power Macs, it could still be installed on certain unsupported PowerPC models through the use of third-party software, such as Mac OS 9 Helper. 1. Compatibility: some newest G3 and most G4 Macs can only run at least Mac OS 9.1, and some only run at least Mac OS 9.2. This is because the late development of G3 Macs and the mid-development of G4 Macs was during the development of Mac OS 9, and only the versions the G4 Mac support were designed to compatible with those G4 Macs. Some newest G4 and all G5 Macs can only run at least Mac OS 9.2, and can only run its compatible versions of Mac OS 9 in OS X's classic environment because the Mac OS ROM was never updated to allow those Macs, which were developed during the OS X era, to directly boot it. See also, Mac OS, Mac OS 8, Mac OS X, references. External links: TechNote Tennessee, 1176 Mac OS 9 at the Wayback Machine from Apple.com, Mac OS 9 Special Report from Macintosh, Apple iMac Firmware Update.